Welcome to Ask Simmo, presented by ECU. It's the fans' chance to ask the questions of our coach each and every week, which Simmo selects will win the best question, will win a super store voucher. Fair to say, Simmo, there's been a few questions.
Yeah, I'm sure there has, mate. It's not a laughing matter. I don't think I am laughing about it. But, I'm just picturing some of the messages you might have had to have filtered. But I'm sure you're going to give me the real ones, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what this is all about, and we appreciate your time again this week. The first question does come from Kane Brown on Facebook, Simmo. He says, after a disappointing result like that at the weekend, how do you go about bringing the boys back together and putting some belief back in themselves and also the system?
That's a really good question. I mean, the old school coach, and sometimes you need it. You need to fire a bullet. You need to go down the beach and jump off the pier or get in the boxing ring. We probably did a bit of that after the Geelong game, and saw a good response. So we've had 2 really poor weeks, Ross. So we need to find out a bit more about what's going on. So it's effort, yeah. It's surprising on the weekend our contest stuff married up okay with Sydney. They just outworked us and got us on the outside. So we'll look at a bit of that and just dig a bit deeper than just the old coach spray. So great opportunity while we're here in the hotel to spend a bit of time together and work through some of these things.
Yes, next Monday night at Optus at this stage against North Melbourne. Shanae Watson on Twitter says, Simmo, halting at another team's momentum has obviously been an issue for you this year. How does the team rectify that? And do you put more emphasis on structure and game plan, or does it come down to simple execution on the day?
A bit of both. Yeah, not too restricted, but it's changed a little bit over the years what you can and can't do in terms of at a centre bounce, for instance. But there's things you can do with the ball, things you can do with personnel and putting a player behind the play. And what's been really disappointing for us is those manoeuvres that normally stand up haven't been standing up. So we're looking into why, and we need to connect better on field. So, yeah, and we need our players and leaders to stand up at the right time. And I need to coach as well as I possibly can as well. So we're still working through that. Like I said, 2 weeks in a row, it's been a pretty good concern.
Vicky Birch on Facebook. Simmo, I hear you often say in your press conferences after losses that you lost field position. Can you explain why that does happen and how do you determine a strategy to halt the opposition?
Yeah, well, field position pretty much is where's the ball. And in the second quarter, we had 20 inside 50s against us and we had 3 for us. So, how do we get some more field position, get more opportunities to score is the challenge. And if you don't win a centre bounce or clearances aren't going your way, and you're starting from the back half, you've got to kick through a defence. And these days, it's really hard to kick through good defensive teams, and Sydney are that. So lose some stoppages, lose a bit of field position, and we found it really difficult to get out of our back half. So that's what happened in the second quarter, but it's just happening too much. So we need to look at why.
Jimmy Smith on Twitter. Times yesterday it appeared as though the players put their teammates under pressure. Short handballs, do you put that down to skill error, decision-making, or Sydney's pressure?
All 3. You would have noticed Sydney moved the ball a lot better. Inside the contest to outside, they managed to handle our pressure pretty well, and we didn't stand up to their pressure. So, yeah, there's execution, there's confidence as well. So when we're at our best and we're nice and confident, I think we can handle it with anyone. But on the weekend, we looked like we fumbled a little bit too much, and that put the receiver under pressure, and then the whole thing sort of fell apart from there. So good observation, it's something we need to work on.
And Joe Blog on Twitter says, has Jack Redden been possibly your best midfielder this year, and how will you seek to replace him if he does miss through injury?
Yeah, I really like the way Jack goes about it. He's not far off. He's been there all year. He works his backside off. He does what's best for the team. Very underrated player, but he's rated highly within the club. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure of his injury. He got a knock to his leg. Find out in the next 24 hours, but if he doesn't play, yeah, he'll be sorely missed. He's been one of our best players this year.
All right, Simmo, you've got to try and find one out of that.
Actually, can I just say, if my family's out there, no one's returning my calls at home, so I'm not sure what's happening. My wife's screening my calls, which... we must have played pretty bad, guys, because, there's no love at home. The first question was the best one.
Kane Brown on Facebook. Congratulations, Kane. Mate, you live to fight another day. Travel safe, bring the squad home, and Monday night at Optus Stadium against North Melbourne. 7 days away from bouncing back.
No, we can't wait to get back into it, mate.
Good on you. There's Simmo. Thanks very much for the Team Store voucher. That's going to Kane Brown. And this has been our Simmo. Thanks to ECU.